Hey, welcome back to Milton Daily Homes. It's Chuck here, and we're back with another episode. The Monday episodes are usually always busy, and so we've got a list of 23 homes. Before I get to that, I want to address something. I sent out a PDF on the weekend. I'll put a link just below the video to it as well, and it was all just frequently asked questions, things that people have asked us over the last month or so, and some really great things. Now, some people open it just fine. Everything was great. Some people said that it's not opening. I have a feeling that you're probably just not waiting long enough because it does take a second to download. It's about 1.5 megabytes the file. So maybe wait 10 or 20 seconds. Just make sure that it does pop up, and I bet you that'll alleviate some of the problems. So if you're still having problems, send me an email. I'll get it to you. I'll send it as an attachment in the email. If it's not possible for you to open it. And I think there's some really good content in there. So let's get to today's list, 23 homes. And the first one up is 1379 Costigan, number 203. It's at 3099, and it's about 1048 square feet. Building itself doesn't have a lot of amenities. I showed it last week, and there was there's not really any gym or anything happening there. Now, they are phasing in 2 other buildings, and what we may find is when those are done, there may be some kind of shared access, maybe kind of like a gym party room, similar to what Maple Crossing has. Inside, now it looks like there's a tile hallway. I guess there's the living area, and then you've also got your bedrooms just off to the side here. And these are usually pretty nicely upgraded. They've got crown moldings, they've got hardwood floors. It looks like a corner, so you do have a fair bit of light. And I like this little porthole window here too. Kitchen is very open concept with the rest. So it's got a nice floor plan, 2-bedroom and then 2 full washrooms. And I think they're going to do pretty well. I think that this building certainly can support that kind of pricing. Maintenance fees are $288 a month. Okay, so Spire Circle is $337.5. This is my favorite floor plan of this one. It's a Woodbine model, and it's the 2-bedroom with 2 full bathrooms upstairs. You've got a small family, kind of like a small den area on the main level. Then you get up and you can see there's lots of little green accents everywhere you look. You've got your family room plus a dining room just behind there. And they've even done the backsplash up here, which I think is a nice feature if it gets pulled off right. I wish they had swapped out the stove just to put it black. I think that would have helped just with their appeal. There's your dining room there. And then you get upstairs, and they've done a dark laminate floor. And really, from a valuation standpoint, I don't see a lot of difference between laminate floors and carpet, especially when it's on the second level. So, I mean, unless it's a really good looking laminate, it really enhances the space. It's not really a value addition. That being said, I think that the price is sort of on the high side of fair. I mean, it's in the right zone that it'll certainly be seen by people, but I think that getting that price out of this home would be, I'd be a little surprised if I saw it. So Walbrook Crescent, most parts of Walbrook face directly onto Derry, so it's the same as the stuff we talked about on Evans and some of those other streets where you'll hear the road, but generally it's a pretty quiet place. There's lots of parks close by, so it is a nice little pocket in the neighborhood. It's a Spring Ridge. It's 1,800 square feet at $379. This is a good deal. They've taken into consideration some of the road noise because I've seen this model go well up into the 4s, albeit maybe with some different or added features. But that's a good looking kitchen. The backsplash is nice. I could see some stainless steel appliances in there. The trim on the top certainly makes it look dated. The home itself is probably 7 or 8 years old. And there you go. So you've got your separate soaker tub, 4 bedrooms upstairs. You either like this model or you don't with that kitchen the way it's set up. But yeah, overall, I think these guys have done a good job. I think they priced it bang on. They're not gonna. I don't think that'll last too long for a semi with that size at that price. And this Livingston one is very, very similar. Semi-detached, probably about 1,800 square feet, 17 to 18. What you have really is you've got an eat-in area. And then you have your kitchen just beside it. So the photographer's standing in the eat-in area. And then just to the left of that is where you'd have the family room here. And you can see they've even accented that wall too. I think that's a nice look. walkout balcony upstairs with 3 bedrooms. They're all really good sized rooms, and there's no finished basement. So this is a good floor plan. It's a really nice open concept floor plan. You don't really have a dining room though. You've got that room beside the kitchen as the need-in. So that might be one thing holding somebody back. Whereas with the Mattamy one, you get a little bit more separation of rooms. Coming is, again, about 1,800 square feet. And so what you're adding here is a finished basement. You're a little closer to the train tracks, so you're probably going to hear them. Nice finishes inside here. It would have been great if they had to just raise these cabinets up a little bit higher. I think that would have just enhanced the appeal, brought the eyes up a little bit more. But a nice backsplash. I like the way the light's hitting off of there, and I think they've got a lot going for them on this one here. Although I see kind of 3 different floors here. It could only be 2 depending on how the light hits upstairs. Yeah, I think the 4th washroom is in the basement, which I think is always a good idea. And let's see what happens with that one. Colson is at 419, and you've got a single car garage. Now, there's a lot of space in here. It's one of the split levels. It's a 5-level split, so like tons of space. Great for kids that are a little bit older that like their own spaces, and they can have their video games here and family, movies. It works for a bigger family. It is possible to sort of configure these as investment properties because you've got basically an entrance here and an entrance here. So really no photos in here. I don't get the impression that this one is just a dynamite loaded up, like fully renovated home, but if it's half decent inside, they could get that kind of money. There have been homes on Colson that have had a double car garage that have sold for less than that too. So it'd be interesting to see what happens with that. Jelinek is at 434.9, and as far as I can tell, it's a 1,382 square foot home. I believe we may have profiled this one last week, but I think it got relisted. It could be in conjunction with, if you've heard the news, there's a company that they actually got their license shut down because a trust account, taking money out of a trust account, all that stuff. So I think this is one of those listings that got transferred over. And so there's a lot of chaos last week. There's California shutters in this one here. I believe it's the 1,382 square foot home. And this picture is taken from afar. Now the yard's a little bit bigger because it's a smaller home on the same size lot as homes that are 500 square feet bigger. But it's a standard size lot. It looks premium, but it's really not. It's got two parking spaces in the driveway. And, I've seen this particular model sell for less with similar features. So Turner is at 478.8. Excuse me, great option for a 2-car garage home. I believe the square footage, about 1,900 or so, and you've got 4-car parking in the driveway. You come in the front door, you've got an actual defined entrance. Then you come upstairs. Living dining has like kind of a tiger wood Brazilian hardwood there. There's the kitchen with an eat-in. Move up to the in-between floor above the garage, and you've got this big high ceiling here. There's a wet bar just off to the side, and then you also have a balcony walkout. And the basement's finished. Okay, so there's an area here with a fireplace, lots of bookshelves, and you can see the other angle there, plus a slate shower. So a lot of good stuff in this home, and really you can get a lot for your money with a double car garage. So Bowring, this one here is about the same size as the previous one, but it's only a single car garage. So they do have a finished basement as well in this one. It's called a Powell model, so it's about 1,900 square feet, and they've done the hardwood through the kitchen there. They've even done the stainless steel backsplash just to help with cooking, and I think that's a very nice looking feature in the home. So finished basement there, and upstairs, bit of a glass shower, California shutters. So they've done a nice job dressing this one up. Bowring is a wonderful street. If you don't live on Bowring, or Mitchell, which is the street that comes off of Bowring, you really don't go on that street at all. It's nice and tucked away. So again, it comes down to, do you want a home maybe with a little bit more finished area, maybe 100 square feet, or do you want a double car garage? go over to something like Turner. Bowering Crescent is at 479, and so this is about 1820 square feet, a touch smaller than the other one, with a finished basement. So these guys are definitely competing with each other. I just don't know if historical sales would indicate that these guys are going to have a realistic shot. You think about the one on Lancaster, about 100 square feet smaller, with a finished basement and a pond behind for 10,000 less than these guys too. Okay, so complaints on this one usually are the master bedroom closets, but the main floor people love it, and the wainscoting here. A lot of pride in this home, a lot of care has been taken, and the basement looks really good too. So even this is wonderful. If anybody was going to get close to their price, like this one or the previous one on Bowering, I'd say that these guys are certainly, so they're battling, but I think these guys have the edge, even though they're a little bit smaller on the top two floors. Now McDougall is at 489. Again, now we're talking about 1878 square feet with a double car garage and some nice features inside. So can the single car garages compete with the double garages? Be interesting to see. Nice photos on this one here. And so when you come in the door, you've got your living dining off to this side, and kitchen and family room are kind of in the other wing of the home. And nice looking upgrades here. Again, I talk a lot about changing that hood fan to match the rest of the appliances. And there you go, hardwood on diagonal. Good looking place, nice light colors, it's bright. I think it shows pretty well from the pictures. And at $489, it's right in line with what they usually sell for too. Bardo Crescent, we move up to $512.9. Now we're talking about a little bit bigger than the previous one. This is just over 2,000 square feet. It's a Heathwood home, so you're getting some nice standard upgrades. You're getting the granite countertops, backsplash, you're getting pot lights, you're getting hardwood floors. It's got a good floor plan. There's a dining room just off to the side there. Basically 3 rooms on the main level. And yeah, looks good to me. I think they're right in line with what I'd expect for a model like this. Mockridge Terrace is at $559. Not particularly great photos of this home. It's hard to kind of build out how the home is laid out just from seeing the photos here, and they're kind of tilted and all the rest of it. So it says there's a separate entrance. It sounds like there's been a lot of work done in the home. You don't really know what the connection is there. Like, is it backing on to what's supposed to be built there? So this photo I find raises as many questions as it probably answers. So some connection with how it relates to the home would probably help them out. It is only a 3-bedroom. They are looking for a June possession, so it's a bit of a longer closing. Potts Terrace, 569, 2572 square feet, and inside, nice upgraded kitchen here. You've got your extra pantry space, stainless steel appliances. Now, sometimes these white cabinets, I can't tell from these photos, but sometimes they can have that finish that really doesn't enhance their appeal. It's hard to tell from these pictures, so it'd really be something where you'd want to check it out in person. There's a little area just outside of the master bedroom. So you've got this kind of loft area that's just open. You can use it for a kid's playroom. A home office is a really popular option here, and it overlooks the living dining room. I like the pickets here. I think that was a really smart upgrade. And one of the rooms doesn't have anything in it, and it's got kind of a standard size yard. Potts Terrace, good street, 569 is actually right in line with what they usually sell for. Not having hardwood on this one, I think they're probably putting it in the right price category. So Fitzgerald, $599. What I do know is it's over 3,000 square feet. And nice high ceilings. Again, this one kind of competes. You'll see one further in the list that this one, I think they're very similar models and similar areas as well. The one, I believe it's on Galbraith. Okay, so I don't know, hard to say. I mean, it's good size for the money, but I don't know if it's a real wow inside. Boughton Crescent, 625. Vanderwood model on the corner, so they've got nice gardens outside, but they're competing with the one on Yates. They're competing with the one on Potts, both for like within $100 of each other, $200 of each other. This one has 8-foot ceilings. It's not badly upgraded. I saw this one last year when it was for sale. The 8-foot ceilings, though, really changed the dynamic in this one. The 9 feet opens it up a lot. Okay, so I think that this one, even the lights up here, kind of a little bit, I don't know. I don't know if they add a lot to it. I just think they're getting beat by these other homes. You're talking about the one on pots with hardwood on both levels, all that kind of stuff. So there's better value elsewhere. We'll see another Vanderwood in the list as well. This is Galbraith. This is the one I was mentioning that's a competitor to the other one. $30,000 more with a finished basement and far more upgrades. The pattern concrete, nice basement. I'm a big fan of having carpet in your basement. I think that warm feeling is something that really adds to it. Laminate to me in a basement, it just doesn't give the same feeling. There, it looks like that's the bathroom downstairs. So same model, I'm pretty sure, as Fitzgerald, and shows very well. The photos are nice and crisp, and you've got kind of a nice breezy, kind of open concept thing upstairs going on. Now, one thing I just want to point out here is that if you're playing your TV loud, if you're watching movies, that sound may carry upstairs. So that's something to consider. It's a nice visual to have everything, the high ceilings, the openness, but it may interfere if you've got people who don't sleep very deeply. So $629. This one was listed last year, and I thought it was quite a good deal back then. I still think it's got a lot to offer. So Cousins, $648. It's another Vanderwood, just over 3,000 square feet. And again, talking about does it beat Potts? Does it beat Yates, who are both at around $625? I don't know. I mean, it looks nice, but they'd really have to justify to me why they'd be worth between $20,000 and $25,000 more without having any kind of lot premium, without having finished basement or any major value differences. Scott Boulevard, $649, about 3,500 square feet, 5 bedrooms, nice sized lot. What holds it back, really? They say it's the lowest price in Milton for this size. That's true because you're 2 doors down from Derry and Scott. Very busy intersection. I mean, it's close to the pharmacy. It's close to some stuff that you can walk to, go get a pizza. Lots of upgrades in here. It's just that location is really, there's a lot of people that when they are paying $600 or $600,000, they want to be on a quiet street. So that's a bit of a tricky one. Fifth Side Road, $659, double car garage, 200 by 209, so about an acre lot. And looks decent inside. I think that being on Fifth Side Road, you got to be careful what's around you. You have some industrial just south of you. And you also have some of the quarry trucks. So you got dump trucks that are going past you, trying to get onto 25 in the highway too. So be really do your research about this one, because there's some things that may interfere with your enjoyment. Dixon Drive, $679. It's a finished basement, about 2,800 square feet. For $50,000 less, I'd be jumping all over something like Galbraith. And inside, it's ornate, it's nice. There's some neat features, how the stairs are all curved. From a value perspective, like I said, I don't know if it's competing as well as something like the Galbraith one. Cusick, I looked it up. It looks like a Coleman model, about 3,000 square feet with a finished basement. Some parts of Cusick back onto, ravine, green space, all the rest of it. As far as I can tell, it's on the inside part of Cusick, so you don't have that locational benefit. At first glance, to me, I mean, they would have to be very nice inside to be looking at a price like this. And the last one on the list is Thomas, and so it's right across from the fairgrounds, 1.495. And you want to talk about a spectacular century home. This one is just to die for. It's wonderful. It's got a triple car garage with an office above, so you could actually have a home-based business here that's separate from the home, and it's all outdoor shots. But I'll tell you what, like, the inside is even more impressive than the outside. These details, guess what? Mattamy not building homes like this anymore. That being said, I mean, if you have $1.5 million in your pocket, you have options. You can buy a really nice home in Oakville for that. You could you even start to get into waterfront. You can buy some outstanding property out in the country. So these guys lose buyers to all those different options. So that's why it can take a little bit longer. This one's been listed off and on probably for 2.5 years. I think it's an outstanding property for the right person, but I do think that there's a lot of different ways that people can go when the price is this high. So that can be the challenge, is just finding the right person. So anyhow, that's the list for today, and thanks for hanging around for all 23 listings. And again, come by, join us for Starbucks, and just connect with us if you need our help. Okay, have a great day. See you later.